Welcome to News Laundry Chota Hafta. For the full episode, subscribe because it is behind the paywall and only subscribers get access to uncut, complete content. News Laundry Hafta is our weekly wrap of all that made the news, all that didn't, and all that should have and all that shouldn't have. We agree, we disagree, we critique, and occasionally we beat each other up. But it's all good fun. Subscribe.
This is a News Laundry podcast and you're listening to NL Hafta.
अंग्रेज अपना लगान और न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. We are back with another episode of Hafta. We are recording from the studio, which has Raman Kripal.
Hi.
Manisha Pandey, who is right now not in a seat, but she's just finishing recording a very special episode of Nuisance, which you shall see on the weekend. But she will join us in a few minutes. Joining us on the phone line is Mehraj, who has just had his second dose, so he's recovering from the after effects at home. Hi Mehraj, how are you feeling?
Better now, thank you.
And also joining us on the phone line is Chandrasekhar Luthra. Many of you may already know Chandrasekhar. He is an independent sports journalist. He has also appeared on our very own News Laundry. He's written for DNA. And he is notably the Joint Secretary of the Press Club of India. Welcome, Chandrasekhar.
Thank you.
And you are joining us from where are you right now?
I am at home.
I see, Delhi.
In Ghaziabad.
Ghaziabad. Fully vaccinated?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are recording this at 3:20 in the afternoon on Thursday, the 12th of August. There is lots happening right now with press conferences and Rahul Gandhi leading a protest. So we will give you the headlines, but by the time we finish recording this, I'm sure more headlines would have emerged. So Mehraj, can you please tell us what made the news last week and is making news even as we speak?
As you mentioned, this is a developing situation, but whatever has happened so far is that both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha have been adjourned 2 days ahead of the scheduled end of the monsoon session, which was supposed to end tomorrow, August 13, but it happened 2 days sooner. And this led to a protest by Rahul Gandhi of the Congress party and other opposition leaders. They also protested against the alleged manhandling of their MPs, including women MPs, they say, by marshals in the Rajya Sabha. And Rajya Sabha chairman Venkaiah Naidu, who is also the vice president, broke down in the House while reading out a statement which condemned what he called sacrilege and violation of the temple of democracy by the opposition.
Right.
And he warned that opposition leaders who created ruckus in the Rajya Sabha will face action. Apart from what's happening in the parliament.
Sorry, may I just add one more thing? And right now, as we're recording this, there are 7 union ministers are holding a press conference, which include Prahlad Joshi, Piyush Goyal, INB Minister, what's his name, Anurag Thakur, and they are alleging that the opposition was threatening them over the passage of bills. So, badi gundagardi hai opposition. Yes.
Staying with Rahul Gandhi, Twitter temporarily locked his account a day after he had posted a picture with the family of a 9-year-old Dalit girl who was allegedly gang raped and murdered inside a Delhi crematorium earlier this month. And on Thursday morning, the Congress party said that its official Twitter handle had been locked as well. So that's a multi-front problems for Congress.
Right.
Neeraj, off from politics to sports, Neeraj Chopra has become the first Indian to win an Olympic gold medal in athletics. He won it in the javelin throw competition. In all, India won 7 medals in Tokyo, which is the country's highest medal tally at an Olympics since London 2012, when it had won 6 medals.
Right.
A new report from the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, warns that the Earth will warm by 1.5 degrees Celsius in the next 2 decades if we don't take drastic measures to reduce greenhouse gas pollution. The report, which has been prepared by the world's top climate scientists, has been described as code red for humanity.
Right.
And it comes at a time when several countries from Turkey and Greece to the United States and Australia have been grappling with severe climatic conditions, wildlife fires, etc.
In fact, the photographs from Greece look like a film. They don't even look like a real picture. It looks like a film set.
Apocalyptic.
Yeah.
And the report adds that reducing emissions to net zero by 2050 is the minimum required to keep the temperature rise to within 1.5 degrees Celsius. And without India, this would not be possible. India is the 3rd largest emitter in the world.
Right.
A Delhi court has granted bail to BJP leader Ashwini Upadhyay a day after he was arrested for organizing a demonstration at Jantar Mantar where people shouted what were really basically genocidal slogans against the Muslims. The police didn't take any action when the demonstration was ongoing, but when some students and activists gathered at the same place on Tuesday to protest against this hate speech demonstration, the police promptly detained them.
Yep.
No surprises there.
So you can't agitate for peace, you can agitate for genocide. You have to choose what you agitate for carefully.
A sad news from Himachal Pradesh, where at least 14 people have been killed in a landslide that hit a highway in Kinnaur on Wednesday. Several dozen people, it's still believed, are trapped under the debris. Rescue operations are ongoing. IDBP and NDRF has been called to the site. Punjab Chief Minister Amarinder Singh has urged Prime Minister Narendra Modi to immediately repeal the three farm laws which farmers have been protesting against for months now. The Chief Minister said the protests had the potential of posing a security threat for Punjab and the country, with what he described as Pakistan-backed anti-India forces looking to exploit the farmers' anger against the government.
On this, I am just a little intrigued at why he had to come and meet the Prime Minister for this. Amarinder met the PM. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if anyone has any theories that this he could have even announced from a press conference. It's not like if he tells the PM. So
They keep writing
is
to
there
the Prime Minister
anything?
also.
So, but why did you have to meet him for this? So is there something that we are missing? So any theories are welcome. Yes, please carry on.
Maybe he was just missing Delhi and wanted to come.
Maybe.
Or maybe he was missing the Prime Minister.
Possible.
Any case, a Delhi court has acquitted Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in a 2018 case of alleged assault on then Chief Secretary Anshu Prakash. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya has dismissed the Delhi government's claim that the centre did not ask it for details about deaths due to oxygen crisis during the second COVID wave. He said the centre had sent an email to the Delhi government seeking these very details, but Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia claims his government never received such a letter.
Right.
In international news, the Taliban have captured the city of Ghazni, which is 150 kilometers south of the capital Kabul. They continue to tighten their grip on the country. The Afghan president, meanwhile, having suffered so many reverses, has replaced his army chief. Ghazni is the 10th provincial capital to fall to the Taliban in less than a week. And the city is pretty strategic. It's located on the highway connecting Kabul to southern Afghanistan.
Right. So
Those are-
that's what's happening. Thank you, Miraj. That's what's happening in the world. It's been a hectic week of news, and I'm sure by the time this episode is uploaded, more would have happened. Now, this is a very important announcement. We are close to Independence Day, and we have started our Independence Day campaign. You know, every year we do an Independence Day discount. We do something special Independence Day for our subscribers. So this time, the Independence Day campaign will run till the 20th of August. So it's starting now while you're listening to this. Well, if you subscribe, you get a whole bunch of benefits. So all you Mufat Khors who have been thinking of subscribing and haven't yet, this is a great time to subscribe, because you can get the annual Game Changer or Disruptor subscription with some NL merchandise like Sabki Dhulai soap set and a tote bag, which will be given to you for free if you subscribe for a certain amount of time. And for existing subscribers, you also get a discount. And there's 30% discount on the hamper and t-shirts if you use the code FREEDOMSALE to avail the discount, which is available for News Laundry subscribers. And if you're wondering that, yaar, agar main abhi subscribe kar leta, so then I would have got this free stuff. Well, get one of your friends or relatives to subscribe and tell them to share the free stuff with you, because each soap set has 3 soaps, herbal soaps, and I use those myself, so I can vouch for their twacha ka parivartan type things.
They pick players. It is not like that they have been training or they have been spending money on everybody. So they pick players. It's like sponsoring somebody. You know, they pick players, they spend money on them, they get sponsors from the outside. They have a system. You know, it's like for any organization.
Right,
where
but
they run a-
once the team is picked for the Olympics, when does that happen? After that,
No, it's been there. You know, even now, say now there is 3 years from now is Paris Olympics. So
Okay.
they have people, they have pinpointed people that we are going to spend on them. We are going to train them wherever they are going. So there is a system there, and there's one lady who is organizing all this show. She's a former sports person herself. So I mean, they have been doing.
so what is
But
in it for
again,
them? Can these
Yeah.
athletes don't? I mean, they can't choose whose logo they wear when they're contesting, right? That is decided by the federation? Like what do these guys get?
It is no. They have some tie-ups. They have some other things with the federation, as well as they have also closely been working with government. So there are 2-3 things. Like what Aditi Ashok said. Aditi Ashok said that top scheme, Olympic podium scheme, which is being sponsored by government. That's a very good scheme. But what government do is they only give money to you once you qualify for Olympics. So in Aditi Ashok's case, it's the golf is of a very different nature. So their rankings, by their ranking only they can qualify for Olympics or any other games, international games. So she could only qualify one month before. So these top scheme and all these schemes, it is not designed for a golf, for javelin, for other athletes, for hockey. They know that yes, this team we are sponsoring, they have been included in tops or by JSW, so they are continuously sporting them. But there are sports which are still crying and which are still saying that please look at us in a very different way. The same Aditi Ashok was saying that for me, I just got money at the very late of my preparation. So it is of no use to me. So I agree with that. But when you are talking about JSW has a system where they pick couple of people or whatever, a range of people. They spend money on them, but they are also charging it. They are charging from the government, they are charging from the individuals, they are charging from the sponsors also. So they have a system. But yes, a athlete like say Neeraj Chopra, he cannot blame neither to government nor to the JSW. He has been getting money, like he was a top athlete since he won the 2016 Junior World Cup. So ever since, he was always been in the contention for a medal in the Olympics. So he got about approximately, I'm saying, about 7 point few crores from the government. He was getting a lot of money from JSW. So he was well taken care of. But in case of, it is very important what I'm going to say now. In case of Bajrang Punia, because these wrestlers, they are obviously, their agents, their federations, they have been getting sponsorship from government, JSW, everywhere. But there is always shortage of money. And I would not use the word greed, but yes, their want is something, more than the other athletes, because their sport is such. They are doing a lot of hard work, not getting that kind of money. So what they were doing even before Olympics, there was a championship in Russia, if I'm not wrong, somewhere in Russian side. So everybody told Bajrang, don't go there. You might get an injury. You might pick up an injury. But because he was getting some $7,000 approximately, say the event there, he got some little bit of injury. That's ultimately resulted in not getting the gold here, but getting the bronze with all the difficulty. Now you are complaining. Now everybody is actually talking about that Bajrang got bronze despite getting injured. His mother was worried. But point is, nobody took care. Nobody stopped them, by force, by of not taking getting participated in those games.
But I guess the thing when it comes to the wrestlers, it is that it seems typically like, we had discussed this last hafta. There's certain sports that are typically taken up by the more well-to-do, like shooting, golf, and wrestling. Pretty much most of the wrestlers come from, either rural backgrounds or not very well-off families. So for them,
yes,
they have a very small window to make it in life. मतलब आपके
4 to 5 years maximum, if you're very lucky, 8 years.
5-8 साल हैं when you can make what you have to make. So there is, of course, an incentive that wanting to compete more and more, even at the risk of injury, because this is the only time you have, right? अगर ये time निकल गया, फिर मौका निकल गया हाथ से.
Bilkul. And one more thing, which government is saying a lot of things. You can thank Modi ji, you can thank Anurag Thakur for not, even if they have not done anything, but you can always thank them. But you have to actually thank them if they apply that 2% sports quota in sports. In on papers, kagzon pe, there is everywhere 2% sports quota in government jobs, in corporate jobs, in banks, everywhere. But have you ever seen in recent 20-30 years? I've not seen that. Even when we were growing up, there was hardly any job for sports. There was only railways, either railways or some typical AG office or that kind of thing. Otherwise, there is no jobs. So you have to provide them jobs, like in what you are saying in wrestling, where they actually need money. You have to give them, first thing has to be job security.
I think
If they
in
get
a sense, like Neeraj has that, being a Fauji. Matlab,
Neeraj had that, but again,
as a Fauji,
that was
because
a,
that's why we
that's a
have a lot of
Fauji.
sportsmen who go from Fauj, क्योंकि Fauj में कम से कम आपको खुराक मिलती है, आपको you have your basics are taken care of, right? Medical is taken care of. You will have a pension, so that kind of insecurity is not there.
Definitely, वो भी नहीं है. And then Fauji also, he knew that he's going to get a lot of time for his practice, because in Fauj at this level, when you are playing, they give you a lot of freedom in that way. There is a culture. He was getting offers from the private, from the railways, from everywhere, but he was probably sticking here because of, he knew that he's going to make big. There was every possibility about Neeraj. We know right from the 2016 that he's going to do something big. But whether he can actually win gold, that was something very surprising. Even at 87.458, which he has done this time, I think in the next 2-3 Olympics, you'll never see this kind of score. He was very fortunate that the other two who were above him, one did not qualify, one got injured before the games. So, but again, his luck was so good that he won that, and a very big medal.
But thanks to Neeraj Chopra, that August 7th has become the National Javelin Day.
Has it?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Okay, National Javelin Day.
So because he won the gold on that day. Yeah, I mean, politicians, obviously, I mean, they have to make optics, and they had to get the maximum mileage out of it. So Modi, I mean, we all know what he has been doing, but in the past 6 years, 7 years. He has not missed one opportunity, where he can steal the thunder. So here also he tried to do the same thing. But I think in the previous podcast also I had said, it's not just Modi. I mean, if you just look at the sport culture, of India, I mean, over a period of years, I mean, Modi is more vocal. The other, even in the Congress, the politicians try to, take the credit, but they can never take the credit. People understand.
So even now you don't think it'll work?
I don't think it will work, because
no, but
sports is very ignored kind of thing. As you said, 220 crore rupees of sports
has been cut, and Pegasus ka cost
232 crores, Paji. 232 crores.
So I think the facts are, there for everyone to look at. So I don't think in the long run people will buy it.
Just a couple of points. One is about this, like Modi looming large over everything. I think it goes back to the same celebrity culture that you were talking about in the beginning, that even when it's a sports person getting interviewed, it's Navika or RSS interviewing them, not a sports journalist who would have more knowledge about that. And these people, that only people who are like, who just make it somehow. And like Chandrasekhar also said, there's a lot of luck involved in what people win, where they win, how they are like trained and all that. And this one person or two people who just make it somehow, then they become celebrities. What that does is that all the other people who are aspiring to go there, who are trying to win something, who are trying to play, they don't get that much, they don't get that much importance, they don't get that much training, money and all that. And another thing is that there is this bar, there is this pressure that unless you become a celebrity like this, nobody is going to care about you. And in this celebrity culture, which has kind of come to dominate all sort of sections of society, Modi is the epitome of that celebrity culture. He is the celebrity. He is the prime minister. He is the BJP. He is increasingly like, he is the country. So it's not like very surprising to see him looming over everything.
Congress also, and they should see it, because also nationally Congress is actually the only party that can take on BJP. I mean, they have to do a lot of things internally, but clearly they are what BJP should be scared of. Then no one has the kind of grassroots reach or pan-India presence that the Congress has. So for sure, it's they should take Congress seriously. But I think right now they've done what they've done in Parliament is still relatively easy, because it is sort of stalling the it's narebazis, it's stalling, cornering the government in a specific space. But what we can determine Congress's energy and whether they're really in this for serious is with this Rahul Gandhi's call to take it to the streets. Because I don't think anything can happen till you have really, mass mobilization on issues of inflation, issues of unemployment, and the second wave, the handling of the second wave. So till it becomes a mass movement, Congress really mobilizing people door to door, grassroots to grassroots, I don't think we should get too excited.
I think because they're going after Rahul Gandhi is because he's an easy target. If you see BJP's Modi's history, they've always gone after soft targets. Like socially, it's the Muslims, it's the student activists, it's JNU. Right now, the people they can go after is like an opposition who have some kind of a prominences. I mean, they tried doing that with Mamata Banerjee. They got defeated badly. In the heartland, they have maybe Mayawati and Akhilesh, but right now they're not on the scene. In the south, they have, say, Pinarayi or Stalin, but for their base, South India basically doesn't even exist, so they wouldn't bother about that. Rahul Gandhi that way is an easy target. One, because politically weakened. Two, because it plays into all of their narrative, dynasty, incompetent, anti-national, trying to break up parliament, not looking after people's this thing. So that's easy. One is that. Two is this whole thing, what is happening in parliament is, this is part of a process. This is of a pattern. This is the hollowing of institutions. You have seen it happening with the judiciary. You have seen it happening with the police, the investigative agencies. And the parliament is sort of one last place where they can't just bulldoze through. They're trying to do that, but you still have the opposition there. That's not the case in the courts or in the investigative agencies or anywhere else. But as long as, you still have elections, you will have these inconvenient people in the parliament. So they have to grapple with that. There's no way. And the other thing about whether this is a chance for the opposition to build a resistance is, even now when they are, Rahul Gandhi and the others are saying we're protesting, what are they protesting against? Procedure. What exactly are they going to rally around? Right now they are saying, parliament is not being allowed to function. That's been the case for, I don't know, maybe if not 6-7 years, maybe 10 years. So what are you going to tell people, that parliament is not being allowed to function? They say, yeah, it's never been allowed to function that way. Other than that, what are they rallying around? They aren't even talking up the farm laws that way, for example. Farmers have been sitting there protesting for so many months. They have basically done nothing about it, other than just issuing press statements. Whatever is happening on the communal front, for example, they've been doing nothing about that. So what exactly are they waiting for?
There's these two stories in Delhi, which, one could say are very city-specific stories, which not necessarily belong on the Hafta, where we talk about, just issues that all our audiences all over the country and world would be interested in. But I think it's very telling of the politics and the brazenness that Mehraj is talking about. One is a story about a Delhi police suspended the SHO of Adarsh Nagar, CP Bhardwaj. The police says been suspended for dereliction of duty because there were many complaints against him. Of course, if you go by complaints against SHOs, there shouldn't be a single SHO in any of the thanas in Delhi right now. I can tell you that. They are the most...
SHO, do you know how it works?
How? अच्छा हाँ, कहाँ की पोस्टिंग चाहिए, कितना वहाँ पैसा होता है, correct? Like Sadar Bazaar का सबसे highest
there is a
bidding
system, bidding
correct.
system.
So now, but this SHO was recently in the news because there was a video went viral on social media where a bunch of these Hindutva goons, they were harassing a Maulvi on a flyover in Delhi, and then he intervenes and he shoves that guy off and says stop this bullying, and he was suspended shortly after that. In an unrelated incident, this buffoon called Ashwini Upadhyay, who I have a nice interesting little story about, he used to be called a BJP leader, then later he started being called a BJP spokesperson. Now he's called former BJP spokesperson, and some people refer to him as BJP member. So clearly he's being
What
demoted.
is he?
I don't know what he is.
Delhi BJP president?
Isn't he a spokesperson?
BJP. He used to be, but now they say former
Then
spokesperson.
anyone can be a spokesperson.
Now they say former spokesperson because I think even the BJP must have said Yatu Rende. So, and of course, former AAP founder member. We will get to that also. Now, he was part of a group that was, holding a protest. I don't know what they were protesting in Jantar Mantar, but they shouted, Hindustan mein rehna hoga to Jai Shri Ram kehna hoga. मुल्ले काटे जाएंगे तो राम राम चिल्लाएंगे. That was the slogan. He organized that event. He was arrested for one day, he was there, and then he was bailed out the next day. Of course, Omar Khalid has been in jail for, I don't know, over a year now.
No, almost a year.
For
asking for peace.
For asking for peace.
Peaceful protests.
Now, I think the brazenness that they don't even care about the optics is because I will still not say the majority doesn't think like this, but a critical mass, a sizable chunk of people are okay being seen as bigots, owning their bigotry to the extent that these two buffoons, it's Rahul Roshan and Abhijit Iyer Mitra, both of who have blocked me, so I can't see the fun of their Twitter exchange. He has said that, yeah, we use fools like you. He says, aur aag lagao, let's trigger the Hindus and all that. You know, that he's put out those. I don't think Open India will suffer for that. I mean, there'll still be buffoons who'll quote Open India articles. So I think the only way out of this is a natural progression of when something becomes unstylish. You know, like there was no logical reason, I've said this before on Hafta, for us to wear baggies. They were the most ugly pants. But sab pehen rahe the, humne bhi pehen li. Or bell bottoms. I think that trend has to go on its own. You can't make it go away. And I think bigotry's become like that. Before we go, I would like to remind you again for our Independence Day campaign. It'll run till the 20th of August. And in this campaign, you get annual Game Changer and Disruptor subscriptions. You get NL merch, which is Sabki Dhulai soap set and a tote bag with it. So do subscribe now because you get these goodies with it. And you can also get a 30% discount if you're an existing News Laundry subscriber. Use the code FREEDOMSALE to avail the discount. I repeat, Freedom Sale. All of you listening in, the Chota Hafta, do subscribe so you can listen to the entire Hafta. We will see you again next week with the Hafta. Till then, subscribe, pay to keep news free, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Thank you. Goodbye.
All the News Laundry podcasts are available on Stitcher, iTunes, and any other podcast platform.
Please subscribe to News Laundry. Help us keep news independent. To catch all our podcasts on news, pop culture, current affairs and sport, visit newslaundry.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sun liya Afrika, mufat khoro. Not to brag or anything, but News Laundry Hafta features in the top 50 in the world on SoundCloud in the news and politics category for podcasts. So do subscribe and see what you're missing, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Subscribe, help keep news independent and free. All News Laundry podcasts are available on iTunes and Stitcher and any other podcast platform.